Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here. This one's pretty large, so if you have to get something to tide yourself over, or you're going to get hungry during this, you might want to go get a snack and come back to this, because this is going to take a little while. First thing that I got, this was yesterday actually. Yesterday I actually made two different videos. They were the trade packages that I'd done. I thought those were kind of a priority, so I left these 4 items out. And a little interesting story that actually goes along with this though. I saw these and I needed to verify what was going on with them because I wasn't really certain about it. I decided to message Longshot and I just sent him a little text about this, and he phoned me back immediately so we could discuss these items and what I thought of them. The reason being is if they were cheaper I probably would have picked them up without hesitation, but because of what they are and the region that they're from, it just it wasn't really sitting right with me, because I was buying basically a few of these titles and it was adding up pretty quickly based on the price of it. So I'll get started though with what they are. They're actually Mega Drive games, so they're not Genesis titles, which is kind of weird. They're Mega Drive games, which is perfectly fine because they work on the Retron 5 whenever I actually get mine, because the website I ordered it from keeps pushing back their pre-order dates and messing things up, so I'll have to figure out something around that. But anyways, this is the first title that I picked up here, Ultimate Mortal Kombat. It's pretty dirty and dusty, but you can see the price there. I paid $10 for it. I can't tell you what the value of these games are, unfortunately, because they're Mega Drive games. They're not Genesis titles, so that was sort of where my hesitation was lying, is I don't really know what these things have for value or anything like that, and if they're good to anybody here, basically, because I wasn't certain if they'd fit into a Genesis, and I don't really think they do. I think the cartridges are just a little bit wider for a Mega Drive game, but there it is there. Unfortunately, none of these are going to have any of their manuals, and like I said, I paid $10 each for these, so kind of wicked. Again, 10 bucks. Mickey Mouse and Castle of Illusion. Didn't have this in my collection already, so obviously I don't have a Mega Drive, but didn't have it in my collection, so I thought I would get it just to hold me over until I get a Genesis version of the game. Again, no manual, and it was 10 bucks. Kind of wishing that the inserts were a little bit better, because they're sort of worn. Someone has let the insert slide down, and then you get that sort of bottom wear on it. But you know, same kind of thing. So $10 for that one. A game I wanted to get because it's actually in the introduction to my videos, but I don't actually have it in my collection, and I've been searching for this title for a very long time, and I found it and I got really excited when I went over there, because I was like, oh my goodness, those are Genesis cases. I saw the Sega on it and I saw the title names, and I was like, wait a minute. Then I saw the Mega Drive part, and that sort of burst my bubble a little bit. But here we go. So it's Comic Zone, and this is again for the Mega Drive. Unfortunately, this one has a little bit of label, like peeling up style of thing to it. Right there, you can see it. So I'm sure some of you have techniques to glue that down, probably like Blast Mode 7 or A Crosby. You guys probably know how to do things like that. So let me know what kind of glue to use and the technique to use or something like that, and I'll be able to put that label back down. But really happy to be able to get Comic Zone, even though it's not my region. And then finally, Pirates of Dark Water. This is I don't know if you're familiar with this, but this is a like side-scroller, I believe, kind of thing, and looks pretty cool. And I decided to pick this one up, but again, you know, same kind of affliction. It has some label peeling which needs to be fixed, just on the top. Always seems to be the case there. And the cartridge otherwise is in fairly decent shape. Like, obviously I'll have to clean it up. Again, no manual, but cool nonetheless. I'm still trying to decide, you know, what I'll do with those when I actually find the Genesis equivalents to those, but we'll see what happens with that. Anyways, I'm going to move on to today's pickups, because today was absolutely fantastic again. First thing that I picked up here is a strategy guide for Grand Theft Auto 4. Unfortunately, I didn't get this from the place where I got them for 49 cents. This was about $2.50, but I thought that was well worth it. Someone's actually thrown in another sheet here with like cheats on it and stuff like that, like codes or whatever. So it's kind of fun. It's in really awesome shape. I already have this one, but the one I have is not in as good a shape, so I'll probably end up selling one of these guides locally. I would never try to ship this to somebody. It would just way too much and not sort of be worth its weight kind of thing. So still at the same time, you know, for $2.50 I can sell my other one and just recoup my cost on that. Or if somebody's interested in it locally, then we can work something out. The next thing I bought, and don't start laughing just yet before I explain why I bought this, is one of these like Wii multiple plastic doodad thingies in it. It's not totally complete, like it's missing this tote bag and it's missing the gun, but I'll show you the reason why I bought this. Inside there's a bunch of junk that I don't want, so I'll probably just end up bundling it with the system. Like there's this cooling fan. I've never had a problem with my Wii like overheating, so I don't even know why that is. You must have to play it for like 7 days straight kind of thing. There's a couple items here. I'll just set those aside because those are the ones I'm actually interested in. There's a couple things that like hold the Wii remotes, again, useless. A baseball bat peripheral thing, totally useless to me. A golf thing and tennis thing, totally useless. The handle that attaches to all of those parts, again, useless, but at least it's bagged. Of course, another one of these, whatever you call it, holders for the Wii remotes, but this is where it gets interesting because there's two items in here, and these are the things I really wanted. The first one, this is a component cable for the Wii, obviously. So it's a 6 foot long cable, and I'll be able to bundle that with the system. That'll be really nice to you know, entice people to hook this up to their systems. And again, it's still in its bag, so I'm assuming nobody really used it, although the bag's not necessarily sealed. And then finally, the second item in there that I was interested in is this right here, which is again, nobody ever used it because it's like completely taped, but I'll open this up right now because I'm going to use it. What it is a grip basically for your Wii remote. So let's see if I have a Wii remote I can do this with right now. I have this one, but you know, you kind of plug it in there, and then you have like a hand grips and stuff, so you can play games. So I thought that would be really cool for playing something like Mario Bros or something like that, where you have the Wii remote like that, and you're using it. It'll give me a little bit more grip. So I was really interested in it. I never really saw something like that before. I'm sure there's tons of things like this out there, but I just thought it was pretty cool. And I only paid $2 for the whole thing. So, you know, I'm not really going to try to recoup my losses on that or anything. I think $1 each for these items is exactly, you know, well worth it kind of thing. So that's exactly what I was looking for, though, as far as what was in there. So all that other stuff I'm just going to bundle with the system and try to get rid of it. Moving on, I went into, sorry a second here, clean up. I went into a Goodwill and found 4 different titles that really interest me. The prices are $5 each, which is, you know, reasonable and definitely worth it when you see what I got here. So first title I got is Dynasty Warriors 4, and that's complete, although the manual is a little bit mangled. It's not too bad. Probably have to figure out how to iron that out. The disc itself is in fairly decent shape. Just needs to be really cleaned up because it's pretty dirty, but not bad at all. And like I said, that was $5, so that's pretty cool right there, I thought. Moving on, and I have multiple copies of this game now, but I will be selling them. It's Star Wars Battlefront, and that's also complete, which is really awesome. And the disc here, again, it kind of has a little bit of scratching to it, but I'm sure it'll play just fine and everything. So $5 for Battlefront, can't beat that. Moving on, there's a couple of GameCube titles which I always like to pick up because they're a little harder to come by. The first one here is Bust-A-Move 3000, and that one's totally complete, which is really awesome. And as well, the disc is dirty, so it probably looks like garbage there, but it's not really scratched, it's just really dirty, so I'll clean that up, and that'll be good to go. And the outside and everything is like really nice, so that's awesome right there. And then probably the find of these 4 games for sure is this title right here. It's Mario Party 4. Found that for the GameCube, and pretty sure I don't have this one in my collection yet. I do believe I have a Mario Party game, but not this one. Again, it needs to be cleaned up, but the disc is actually really, really nice. So that's awesome right there. To find that for $5. So yeah, it was 20 bucks, but when you see the value of those games, you'll kind of see where I was coming from on that one. Moving on, I walked into a Talese and I found a couple of different items. So here we go. The first thing I found here was a Game Boy Advance SP, and unfortunately I did try to charge this and it does not charge up. I know what the problem is, it's just a dead battery. So if you have any tricks or tips or something like that of jump starting a battery for the system, let me know. This thing was exceedingly dirty. I actually opened this up and I took my SP battery, put it in the tray, and inside the tray it was just disgusting, so I had to clean that up before I could even do that. Normally I would show you the condition I get things in, but I just couldn't with this one because it was so disgusting and I was trying to sort of test it out. So this one here though cost me $7.99, so $8 for that, which was pretty awesome. And then at the same time I also picked up a DSi, which again, it's not in the world's greatest shape. There is some scuffing on the screens and stuff like that, but I don't have a DSi. Only problem with this is I have no way of testing this because I don't have a charger for this, and when I power it on, there is no power right now. So that kind of concerns me that, again, there might be a dead battery in here, but I might be able to pick up like a cheap aftermarket type one or something like that and just pop it in there and away we go. This here is probably going to be for trade. It's not in the world's greatest condition. Moving on, I was also in Talese at the same time, obviously, and went over to the games section and got some interesting titles here as well. First one I'll show you here is the Simpsons game for the PS3. This is a pretty fun game. I enjoy it. I've enjoyed the Xbox 360 version, so I thought I'd pick it up. It was also $4.99, so $5, which is pretty sweet right there. Moving on, I also picked up a copy of Wii Sports Resort, which actually has its club points in there, so I'll have to test that out and see if I can redeem those. But it's totally complete, and I'll just check the condition here. It's in like pretty excellent condition. So that was pretty awesome right there. Again, that was $5. Seems like a $5 day in my area though. And then finally, I found a copy of Spider-Man Web of Shadows for the Wii. And this one here is almost factory sealed because it has a little bit of the plastic hanging off here, which is kind of unfortunate. Otherwise, it's brand new. The inside's brand new, so that's awesome. Again, that was $5. So really sweet deal right there. And I didn't have this in my collection yet. I'll probably just end up peeling that off though, and being able to use the game kind of thing, because obviously it's been compromised anyways. Moving on from there, I also did a local buy and sell trade Facebook group kind of thing, and this is pretty crazy actually. There's a number of different titles in here that aren't really worth a whole lot, but a few of them right there I'll show you at the end, which are definitely worth everything in it. So basically the ad said for $15 there was a bunch of old Xbox original games. When I got to the place that I was picking it up, the guy said, "Oh, do you have an Xbox 360 as well?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do actually." And he said, "Well, I got a couple of games, EB Games won't take them, so I'll just throw them in." And I said, "Well, that's great." The first one here is NHL 2K6, so nothing really special, but it was free, so that's pretty awesome. And then the next one here is Kinect Adventures, and again, that one's complete as well, so that's pretty cool. I mean, 2 games for free, you can't really say no to that, and worst comes to worst, I mean, at least they're good cases or something like that. Moving on, got some, this was like the real deal though. So for $15, I got 15 titles. Wouldn't even really matter what titles they were for $15, it's pretty awesome. But when you see some of this stuff, you'll see why I went for it. The first thing is not something I was going for. It's Over the Hedge, and I'm sure you're not that interested in it, but there it is complete. And the disc is, well, pretty much scuffed up because a kid was probably playing with this a lot. Moving on though, Medal of Honor Frontline, I already have this in my collection. so I'm not that interested in it. That's going to be for trade, but it is complete, and the manual is really mint, so it may actually replace the one that I have. The disc, on the other hand, is not in the world's greatest shape, but I'm sure it'll play. It doesn't look like damaged or anything. The next one here is Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. The guy who had these obviously liked his shooter type games because, again, another one of these, and there's quite a few actually in here. So, you know, it's in decent shape as well. The manual's in good shape. A lot of these just need a little bit of cleaning, but the cases themselves are in really excellent shape. The next one here is Ghost Recon 2 Summit Strike, and again, that one's complete. And the disc has the same sort of thing, has a bunch of fingerprints on it. So, pretty cool right there though. Next one's Conflict Global Terror. So, you know, if you like shooter games, you're in luck here. A lot of these ones I'll probably end up selling. I'm not totally certain, but I have to try some of them out because I've never even heard of some of these, such as this one, Combat Task Force 121 or 121. And this one here, unfortunately, is only the disc and the case, no manual. But again, just a little bit dirty. That's about it. So that's that one there. A game I already have on 360, so again, I'm not going to be interested in this. I do love this series though. Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. So that's also complete, which is quite nice. This disc probably needs a little bit of help though. It's pretty beat up shape, so that's okay though. Again, I'm pretty sure it'll probably play. The next one's Battlefield 2 Modern Combat. Again, shooters galore here, but again, for $1, I mean, definitely going to be able to recoup my money off of this particular lot, that's for sure, and get to keep the stuff that I want to keep, which is going to be coming up very shortly here. Delta Force Black Hawk Down is the next title, and it's complete. And again, you know, it's a little scratchy and stuff, but it's not anything deep or horrible, so I'm sure it'll work. Getting into the more interesting stuff here, we've got Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. Never actually played this, although I do have this already in my collection, so this one will probably be up for trade. It is complete. Disc has that sort of same kind of thing, like lots and lots of little scratches, but still maybe a candidate for the resurfacing machine later. This is where it gets interesting, and this is the reason why I went for it. If it was just those previous titles, I probably wouldn't have been that interested. Maybe when I first started collecting I would have been, but at this point, not really. It's not worth the drive kind of thing to me. But here's where it gets interesting. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, which I already have multiple copies of this. This one's complete, which is nice. I'd have to check to see if mine is. My discs are probably a little nicer than this one, but still, that's going to be something that definitely is going to be up for trade. Something I didn't have in my collection, super pumped to get, is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. I do have this, I think, on the PS2, if I'm not mistaken. So that one will be out, and this one will be going in my collection, so I'll be able to recoup my losses on that for sure. Something I just picked up the other day, another copy of it, Star Wars Republic Commando. And that one there is not complete, even though it has some sort of like advertisement type of thing. It's like actually it's a registration card. Just check out the condition here. It's sort of the same as the other ones, a little scratched up and stuff, but hey, for $1, definitely not going to turn that down. The next one is Star Wars Battlefront, which is a second copy of this in this pickup video, but there you go right there. And it's totally complete, which is really wicked. And the disc on this one needs to be clean because there's like something all over it. You can see it there. It's like somebody tried to wipe it down or whatever, but didn't do a very good job of it. Disc is, you know, kind of swirly scratched, but again, you know, Star Wars Battlefront for $1. It's pretty awesome. And then the final one, which I'm really happy to add in. Unfortunately, this does not have its artwork and stuff like that. It's loose, but it is Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the Xbox, which is really awesome. This alone, this game right here, probably goes for around $30, just loose like this, so that's really awesome right there. So basically from this the stuff that I was mostly interested in, you know, are these 5 titles, well worth the $15. This stuff right here, I don't know, I have to go through some of it because I'm not really sure about some of these titles, if I'll like them or not. Other ones I already know about and I already have in my collection, so those are likely going to be up for trade, and I know that will help me to you know, get back my $15 basically and get to keep all the goodies here. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I will see you all later.